What's up, world? This video is going to cover how to become a trash truck driver. So I work for, you can see back there, Republic Services. Now, someone in the comments asked, how do you become a trash truck driver? So I figured it'd be a good topic to go over. So don't mind me if I look away from the camera so I can go through my notes. But let's get started. And real quick, before we get too deep, hit that like button. That way YouTube shares it through the algorithm and this message can be heard throughout the world. I've had people from Germany comment on my video. I thought it was so cool. I'll link the videos from the trash truck, being a day in the life of a trash truck driver up above, somewhere up here. Okay, let's get started. So for those that don't have a commercial driver's license, that's what's required to drive the big trucks back there. If I remember correctly, the truck has to be over 26,000 pounds to be considered a commercial vehicle. So to drive the trash trucks, you're required to have a Class B commercial driver's license. Now, the process to get your commercial driver's license goes as follows. Step number one, you have to obtain your CDL permit. To get that, it's pretty much just like getting your regular driver's license. What you do is you study your book, and you go to your local motor vehicle and you take your test. And I don't think you pay, I shouldn't even say anything. I don't know about what it costs out in your state, but I know out here in Colorado, you can take the test twice a day, and I think you get it for free the first time, and the second time it's like 20 bucks or something like that. Okay? Now also, I will link in the comments and in the description the study booklet to get your commercial driver's license. All right. Now, once you go ahead and you pass your CDL permit test, you'll go ahead and you'll do a 14-day waiting period. And like I said, again, this is based on Colorado. I don't know about where you're located at, so go ahead and look into that information or call the motor vehicle and get some information on that. But out here, you'll wait 14 days, and then you can actually do your driving test. If you're not in Colorado, that's how it goes. It was like that out here too, but now I think, and I should have looked this up before I started the video, but I want to say now you're required to do schooling out here in Colorado. You guys can fact check me if you guys know the information on that, but that's the way it used to go. You used to study, get your permit. 14 days later, you can go and do your drive test. Okay? Now, once you pass the drive test, congratulations, now you got your CDL. Now what you'll do after that is you'll go back to the motor vehicle and you'll get everything set up with them, get your picture taken, and you'll get your new ID shipped out to you. So from there, to become a trash truck driver, you could then apply to Republic Services. And I'll go ahead and link the website to apply for Republic Services also in the comments and the description too. I'll put it in both places for you guys. But you'll apply for Republic Services based on your location, and then from that, the process looks like you'll get a phone call or an email from the recruiters, and they'll get a hold of you. You'll go through your little phone interview or whatever, and then you'll get scheduled to do an in-person interview. From the in-person interview, if you meet the requirements, they'll give you a phone call thereafter to get everything else set up. And that looks like going to get your physical done, which requires just making sure that you're able to drive commercial vehicles, which you would have already because you got your CDL permit. They go ahead and they test your eyes and all that stuff, but they actually do a physical of you. So they'll make sure you can push and pull. I believe it's 50 pounds up to like 75 pounds, you will do another eye test, you'll do a hearing test. They pretty much just make sure that you are functionable to drive a big boy truck. Now, after you do your physical, you'll do a drug screen. Now, out here in Colorado, actually a lot of states, if I recall, there is so many states that has legalized Mary Jane. Now, just because it's legal through the state does not mean that it's legal through the feds. Now, federally speaking, it's not even how you say it. So talking from a standpoint of being a driver, being regulated by the feds, we're not allowed to consume Mary Jane. Same with Republic, they don't allow us to consume that. I mean, you can consume alcohol or whatever. It doesn't make sense to me, honestly, but that's for another video. Okay, so you'll do your drug screen, and then once that passes, then you'll go on to the next phase. The next phase, you'll go through a background check. Now, that can take anywhere from up to a couple days, up to 3 weeks. I've seen some guys take up to a month. Now, if you're wondering about the background check, don't be too discouraged if you have felonies. A lot of the people that I've worked with have felonies, and just don't be discouraged. Put the application in, because you'll be surprised what goes through. And I don't know, trash truck drivers are needed. So if you can prove yourself that, hey, it was a long time ago or whatever, the chances are it's possible to get on if you have some pretty bad felonies. Okay, now from the background check, they'll then go to your motor vehicle record. They'll make sure you don't have too many parking tickets, too many moving violations, so on and so forth. Okay, and then from there, if all that passes through, you will then go to orientation. Orientation lasts anywhere from, and like I said, I can't speak for every location, but for us, you usually do orientation for 2 to 3 days. And then you'll go to do the infield training. And that usually takes anywhere from, depending if you have experience or not, 2 weeks, all the way up to 6 weeks. They make sure that you are more than comfortable doing a route by yourself. So you'll go with a trainer, and they'll show you all the ins and outs, and it's pretty much everything that you need to know about being a trash man if you don't know how to do so already. All right. Go back to my notes real quick. All right, now once the training is done, then you'll pretty much go out on a route by yourself, and then you will be a solo dolo trash truck driver. That's pretty much what the steps look like to becoming a trash man. It's not too long of a waiting period. It's usually, like, let's say if you don't have a CDL permit, from the time it takes you to get your permit, as long as you study hard, pass everything within the first time, and depending if you have to have schooling or not, you can be without a permit to getting a permit, and then licensed, then having a job within a month's time, 2 months time. Like I said though, depending on schooling, I don't know how that goes. If you need schooling, then whatever minimum schooling requirements the school that you go to is required. I don't know. That just depends on what route you choose to get. What I would suggest for you guys, look up third-party CDL driving instructors. Now what they do is you could pay someone that's certified through the state to do the CDL testing, the training, and all that good stuff. And it's way cheaper than a school. And you're not locked into any sort of contract to go work for X company or whatever that they have the connects with. Okay, so that's some good advice right there. Now, things to consider about being a garbage man. Now, if you guys haven't watched my previous videos, I've been in the trash industry for about 14 years. I started when I was 18 years old. Now, during that time period, I've seen a lot of military dudes, bodybuilders, men that look super, super tough, right? Or men that are super tough. But there's something about the trash industry that just isn't for the faint of heart. You have to be a certain type of person. I would say man, but there's a lot of women that work in the trash industry now. But you have to be a certain type of person to be able to be in the trash industry. It's physically, emotionally, mentally hard, very hard. Now, for us with Front Load, we start at 3 in the morning and 4 in the morning. So just waking up that early is hard, not just for the sleep schedule, but I mean, if you're trying to balance out just life in general. So that could be tough. What else do I got? That's pretty much all I got for things to consider about the cons. Now, for the pros about the job, I mean, you can totally make a super good living off of this job. You could become super wealthy as long as you put your money in the right places. You can totally sustain a beautiful family life. I am a father of 4. I'm a husband. My wife stays home with the kids. We live very great. We're not super duper rich, but we're doing pretty well. So, like I said, I can't speak for every location throughout the United States or really throughout the world, but based on my experience, that's how you get into the trash truck or the trash driving industry. CDL permit first if you don't have it, get your license, and then you apply to Republic Services. It's as easy as that. You can get in quick. Now, another word of advice that I forgot to mention, I don't think I have it in my notes. When you go to get your CDL, don't just settle for the Class B because that's what's minimum for the job. If I was you, get your Class A, because if you find out that the trash industry isn't for you, you will have so many more options that pretty much a bunch of different gates are open to driving tractor trailers. Now, in my experience out here in Colorado, the trash industry pays substantially more than a lot of Class A jobs, tractor trailer jobs. So keep that in mind too, guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please like the video so that way it can be shared throughout the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to talk to you guys in the comments. Take care.